Hello and welcome to the latest post-Samhain edition of Earth Seasons, our wheel around the year, our journey around the year. And one of the reasons it's taken me so long to come back from Samhain is because so much has happened for me personally. And so the wisdom that came through from Samhain, the ceremonies that we did, simply by being inspired to gather 3 or 4 photographs of ancestors, set intentions that, you know, what was needing healing would come to the fore, and through our elemental remedies, and by elemental remedies I mean using earth, air, fire or water to bring about healing in this earth plane, and that's our role, you know, as people. We can support the spirit realm by bringing about healings and transitions in this life. And what came through very much was about the fire and air element. So the fire was about lighting candles and honouring. So there's been a candle lit on my altar, which has been about welcoming in souls which haven't come back fully or fully transitioned over due to trauma and pain. And the air element, the air medicine, the air remedy that I was given was storytelling. And storytelling is such a powerful tool. And I realised what my grandmas were telling me. Both my grandmas are in the spirit realm at the moment, and they've had a very strong presence with me all my life, but recently the message has been, this is what has happened because women's voices haven't been heard, you know. So when women's voices are not heard in families, or that information's not passed on, wisdom isn't passed on, the emotional truth isn't shared or voiced, there is I'm just going to use the word backlog of, for want of a better word, of energy that hasn't been heard. And my own experience is kind of like the difficulty in expressing emotional truth. And so really, really tuning into, what does that mean? You know, what does it mean to tell your story or somebody else's story beyond? And another strand of that I've been given as well to work with is that of gossip. Is what detrimental, what damage does it do not to connect with the person directly and simply talk about them? So the storytelling, I was given the guidance really, really clearly to channel the voice of these ancestors and allow them to be heard. And the final, well, it's not the final piece, but the most recent piece of this story is that with my shamanic mentor, I was shown, and we realised that when my grandma died, her soul fragmented and part of her soul was wrapped around my heart. And when we asked her, you know, why did you attach yourself to Emily's heart? And she said to protect her, to look after her and bring healing for the family. So, you know, without bringing all of this to consciousness, without bringing all of this into clarity, it's really difficult to actually know what we're working with. So our ancestors knew, you know, all the rituals and procedures and the stories that would be told, and the singing, which had a role of releasing pain, telling stories, remembering stories, and that's something that I'm really, really interested in reigniting. Following on from this, the mother threads, which my ancestors really want me to do, they were kind of like, we need the mother threads. We've lost the mother threads. And that's about the tending of the emotional threads, the stories, the heart songs, the beating heart of the family being held by the mother, So not only have I recently discovered that mothers bring their children into the world when mothers die, and their children die, they're the ones to guide the process. They work with the angels and tell the angels how they want the it's so emotional, how they would like to receive their children again in the spirit realm. And there is very little deviation from this. There's very little deviation from this rule. So the way that we honour motherhood and mothers and their voices and their wisdom in this realm, wow, it's not. I don't feel like we really understand the magnitude of it. And when I realised that, I was speaking about these things when I was very, very young, and I realised that I was kind of like really picking up on the things that were going on. And I remember when my grandma and my grandparents died, being really aware that, grief wasn't being honoured, and we'd kind of lost that kind of really emotional release element of grief. Even if you just go for the water element and say tears, there was very little tears. And actually, the elemental rituals are essential, they're so essential for the spirit realm. And yeah, so much so that as well as continuing the earth seasons, I am beginning in March the mother threads, because that's just come out of this so strongly that that I get to work with mothers around reweaving those threads into their families, which is, wow, it's incredible practice to do, and I'm really, really excited about it. So I'd just like to say a couple more words about storytelling, and that is that storytelling is transmutation. Storytelling is shifting energy from memory or pain into truth. And when there's truth that's told, there's a shift in energy, there's a release, and there's a welcoming. And this is something that if you've still got your ancestral altar, if you've still got your altars, simply lighting a fire in the wings of a candle, or a fire if you have access to that, and inviting words to be spoken. You may just singing sounds, singing voices, singing, about them. There really is no right way other than setting the intention that you are transmuting energy through storytelling and bringing peace to your whole family, mending broken branches and bring well-being to the whole tree. Yeah. And I would love to know if you have any feedback, any comments, any sharings about that, because it's huge and wonderful, and welcome back to doing it properly. That's all I can say, because the transformations have been immense, and I wish the absolute same for your family, for your tree. So much love, and thank you for watching.